almost 50-year career that includes the films The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, The Color Purple, and the recently released Granddaddy Daycare. I love it. Please welcome the beautiful Miss Margaret Avery.
The lights aren't up so much, but I think a lot of you are pretty young, and I'm going to share something with you that I don't think a lot of you know, that back in the day, and I mean back in the day, there were very few, if any, people of color in film, front or behind camera. Ben Nye and Max Factor, they were not ready for me, or anyone like me. The hair department was equally unprepared. When I would step up on the makeup trailer and hair, it was with great trepidation. But I hid it behind my famous smile. And makeup and hair, they returned with a bigger smile. Hi. But all of us were silently, because I was just as scared of them as they were of me. Yeah, it really was a time, and I would just do my own hair and makeup, and so that was what a relief it was. But along came a little indie film called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, starring the basketball star of the day, Dr. J. Now, a lot of you didn't remember him. But the real star for me was this tall, lean, dark, and handsome guy, introduced to me as the one that would be doing my hair. Well, I looked at him and I said, he's too fine to know anything about no hair. But I was wrong, and I got to share you a secret that only my hairdressers know. I got can't you, don't you hair. Can't you, don't you. Now, if you're from the South, you know what that means. Huh? Can't you comb and don't you try. That's right. Well, Robert, he would touch my hair like this just to kind of see what it was like. And then he would go to work. And he always knew the exact products to use, and he would just come out with the exact process to get the exact results that we always needed. His magical hands and expertise and temperament. We all know that's important now, don't we? Temperament. That's right. But he would just make me look great, and for the films that were very endearing to me, the most was Which Way Is Up, starring the late, great Richard Pryor, and Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple. Now, we all know how hair is so important to accurately portray any character that we're doing as a period piece, right? Well, Robert was always there for me. And speaking of history, let's see some of Robert's work.
My first break came when I started working in Universal as an apprentice. Susan St. James, our hairstylist, was retiring. And so she wanted a hairstylist, so they sent me down to do her. And I was shaky at that time, I was green, and I was a little afraid, but she loved me, and that was like my first start of really working with stars. And I was like, from there, the sky was open. And I was one of the first black male hairstylists they had in the unit. One of my mentors was Josephine Turner. She just showed me how to make everything work, how to make a wig fit. My forte is lace wigs. And that's one of the reasons I've gotten a lot of actors like Eddie Murphy and Sam and Lawrence Fishburne and Angela, because I do wigs. Sam Jackson is really particular about what he wants to look like. We would just research the wig, get pictures to show him. It would look something like this, but we can change it like that. If you want it, you tell us what you want, and I'll make it that way. So that's how that process worked for us. One of the things I love about doing this job is I get a chance to create. You know, I could use whatever I have inside of me to put it on the screen. And that feeling is like no other.
Great body of work there. So now I'm told that we have another video from someone else who would like to pay tribute. So can we roll that, please?
Little Rob, what can I say? This is beyond well-deserved and overdue. Been one of the best hairdressers in the world for a very long time. From the very first time I met you when I was a student at Morehouse College telling you about what I wanted to do until the time we ran into each other in New York, until I got here and you put the first wig on me for the Great White Hype. You have been an integral part of my career. Without you, people would not know all the characters that they know. Through our collaborations of figuring out hairstyles and thinking about characters after we read the script and coming up with what we wanted them to look like, you have been responsible for all those iconic looks. Can't thank you enough and can't tell you how much I appreciate you training Camille to come in and take your spot. She's taking up where you left off. You are a true master, and this honor is more than deserved. Love you, brother.
It is my pleasure and honor to present the Lifetime Achievement Award in Hair Styling to Robert Louis Stevenson.
Now, this is scary. Well, I want to thank Margaret because she started with me, and we go way back. This is truly a blessing for me. I mean, where I started. So I want to tell you a little story, if you don't mind. 50 years ago, in 1969, two major things happened that would change my life. My first child, my only daughter, Kendra, was born. And another situation that I was not aware of, that the federal government was conducting hearings in Hollywood, at the Hollywood studios, about the minority hiring practices. The EEOC research found that 19,000 people working in the studios, only 400 minorities were working. Mostly in maintenance and entry-level jobs. To right the wrong, the studios decided that they would advertise in minority newspapers and minority radio stations. I owned a salon on Crenshaw at the time, and I was on my way to lunch, and I heard the announcement, if you're interested in working in Hollywood, come and sign up at Contract Services, which was on 3rd in La Cienega at that time, the Dart Building. Instead of going to lunch, I went and filled out an application. Later on, I met with Charles Hackett, Laurie at Universal Studios, who eventually took me to the makeup department, where I began a 3-year apprenticeship program. I was met with some resistance. Why? Well, at that time, all makeup artists were white men that wore white shirts and ties. Women were white women that had their hair pinned up and well dressed. And imagine the sight of me, black male hairstylist with a big afro, bell-bottom pants, and platform shoes. And, you know, but they were shaking and so was I. Look, however, as time went by, I was helped by some of the best makeup artists and hairstylists in the business. They guided me and helped me so that I developed into a successful film hairstylist. I want to give thanks to the late Nick Marcelino, head of Universal's makeup department, who developed me and nurtured me along the way, to Josephine Turner, wig maker, who was my mother in the business. Without her, I think I wouldn't have made it, you know. To Lorraine Robinson, who trained me, to Vivian McAteer, who trained me, and to Florence Avery, who trained me. I want to thank, I got a big boost from a hairstylist that is no longer with us, Tony Walker. Tony Walker was such a lovely woman that the movie Coming to America was her movie. But she told the producers and the directors that she thought I would be better at doing it, so she gave it to me. And I didn't let her down. I did a good job. So, and I want to thank Victoria Woods, who I work with to this day, wig maker, who I still work with right now. I want to thank Monty Westmore, the late Monty Westmore, Bob Germain, Alan Apone, Bernadine Anderson, and Marietta Carter. A special thanks to my friend Samuel L. Jackson, who I worked with for the last 14 years until I retired. I thank him. Together we did create a lot of styles, and Sam let me create. He, you know, asked me what would I want to do, and I said, well, what do you want to do? He'd go, well, you read the script, tell me what you want, and we'll work it out. So usually we just got together, and then we would figure out something, and Alan Apone would sometimes put it on the computer, and we'll kind of fake it out and go to the producer. They say, okay, if you can do this, we'll let you do it. But we always won because we usually made it work. I have friends here tonight that actually came into the industry under the federal mandate and have been successful in this business. My friend Norm Blaney, a cameraman, Lifetime Achievement Award. Stephanie Cutler, who was a young teenage mother when she started working in wardrobe. Her son now is in wardrobe. Cheryl Kearney, the first African-American set decorator and Emmy Award winner. And my good friend, and who I went to school with, Alan Aldney, who is one of the greatest stuntmen, and who's retired now. But Clarence Williams III wanted a black stuntman, so they got Alan, and the rest is history because he's doubled some of the best people in the business. So, I also want to thank all my children for coming out here today. My daughter Kendra, my son Jason, my son Damon, my son Taryn, my grandchildren Bria, Valentino, Sage, Ahmad, Dana, Nalad, and Delaney. I want to thank, I love you guys, I love you all. And to all our other family members that came, a lot of them came from out of town just to support me, and I want to thank them so much for coming. And last, to my best friend in all the world, my wife, Rod Stevenson. Yeah. I just want to thank her for keeping our lives together when I was off working around the world and all over the place. And she was building her own career at the time as a film publicist and have been the rock of our family. I thank Roz, I thank Local 706 for this honor. And you know, diversity and inclusions are good things. Yes, Hollywood changed my life. And I hope I've helped change the perception of people of color. And I finally thank God for an incredible life. Thank
For you to see.